EGM Network.
This is an Evergreen Media Network production. And now, it's time to put you on the spot with EGM.
Hi, good morning. Today, I am interviewing the Marine Extraordinaire of Vero Beach. Today, I have with me Brian Cunningham, and we are going to be discussing the Vero Beach Boat Show. Welcome, Brian.
Thanks for having me, Kim. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. We always love talking with an expert in boating.
Well, let's not stretch it too far, but thank you.
Well, we're excited to talk about the Vero Beach Boat Show coming up April 11th and 12th, and it's the 43rd annual.
Amazingly, 43 years. We've been doing this show twice a year out in Riverside Park.
How did this all get started? I mean, I know you are an avid boater and you love anything that floats. You are into it. So let us know how it got started.
Well, going back to the very beginning, we didn't have a local show and kind of felt the need for one, and still considered a small town by a lot of area standards. We kind of felt like a spring show catered to the locals, the year-rounders, and the fall show catered to the seasonal residents. So we decided 2 shows would be appropriate and keep it as local as we could. We don't want to compete with the Miamis, Lauderdales, or Orlandos of the world. That's their own thing. And our show is decidedly different because of that, on every level.
Yeah, if you have not been to the Vero Beach Boat Show at Riverside Park, it is definitely a different vibe than what you're getting from, we've talked before about Miami and even Stewart. It's all local, but tell us what really makes it spark.
Well, we've used the local word a couple of times so far in this short period of time, but that is the focus for sure, is local. Being avid boaters ourselves, as certainly everybody at Vero Marine Center is, and I would imagine another displaying dealers, we understand maintenance and service, and the relationship of buying a boat is an important part of the equation. So the idea behind the local nature of the show is not to have dealers that wouldn't be able to do follow-up service, help a new boat owner conveniently, and that's why we keep it as close to home as possible. St. Lucie, Indian River, and Southern Brevard County, that's where the dealers that display are going to come from. So everybody is an easy drive, perhaps a convenient boat ride to the dealership for service or, anything after the sale that might need to be done. So local is what's the spark? The spark is you get to meet the people that hopefully you develop a relationship with and get to take care of you and your family and your boating needs in the future.
You're not really just talking to a national chain with a sales guy ready to and eager to make a sale. It's the community.
No, we're not selling fiberglass. We're selling a lifestyle.
An experience.
That's it.
Well, how many vendors can we expect this year?
It changes every year, but at this stage of the game, we are, for the footage that we are allowed in the park to use, we're essentially sold out. That's kind of typical, and there'll be probably 16 or 18 small booth vendors that will have anything nautical, whether it's accessories for the boat, boat clubs, insurance people. Seacoast Bank will be there for financing. The booths, the bigger displays where the boats will be, we are at our normal 10 dealerships or so, and they'll range anything from small boats in the 15, 16, 17-foot range on up to each dealership has their largest boat. Whether they'll be on display at the show or not, I can't speak for other dealers' inventory, but in our case, up to 40 to 45 feet is the biggest boat we sell, and we won't have them at the show, but they'll be available to see back at our marina.
And by we, you mean the Vero Marine Center, there in Royal Palm Point.
You got it. You know where we are.
Absolutely. So it's going to kind of vary from whatever dealership. As you said, you guys may be bringing a 40, 45 foot What other things are we going to see there? Are there jet skis? Do I have to just be a fisherman? What are some of the trends we're seeing this year?
That's a great question. That's one of the unique things about our area, our geography, is we live in a spot with a lot of shallow waters. So the kayaker or the flats fisherman, there'll be boats that will cater to that desire. The family fun boat, pulling kids on tubes and water skis, there'll be boats like that. We have designated areas in our area for family water sports, so there'll definitely be boats that'll represent that part of it. We also live in a great spot for access to offshore. We have a great inlet to the south of us in Fort Pierce, and we're, less than 100 miles to wherever you want to go in the Bahamas. So we'll have bigger boats that will do that as well. And that's part of the lucky part of our geography and where we get to go boating is we do have a little bit of everything. We're not confined to a lake or an area without an inlet. We live in a great spot to go boating.
Yeah, absolutely. You just went to Bahamas, right?
Going again here shortly. We've done with our group. We do our owners group at Vero Marine Center. We have a thing called the Grady Bunch, and that's our owners group. And we do 3, 4, 5 get-togethers by boat a year, and Bahamas is one of them.
Now, get-togethers, are you talking about 5 boats or so? How many are you in the Grady Bunch?
The number of boats on each trip depends kind of on our destination. We just did a trip to North Florida, and we had 7 boats and 14 people. Bahama trip this year will be 11 boats, and I haven't done a head count yet, and that's a 2-week trip. But we do a little bit of everything from meeting by lunch for a day, but it has to be by boat. Our trip to St. Augustine was 5 days. We've got another shorter trip that'll be 3 days coming up after the boat show. So active group.
So I can go to the boat show, get one of these Grady's, and join you 3 days later?
Sure.
Just
You're
need
welcome.
to find out what I'm doing.
We'll make it happen quick.
Well, again, the boat show is Saturday and Sunday, April 11th and 12th. I keep saying the 411, but kids don't know what that is anymore. And on Saturday, it is from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And on Sunday, it is 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Correct.
And there's going to be food trucks, right? You know I'm a foodie.
We'll have our favorite food truck will be there. We'll have an ice cream truck there for a little dessert after lunch. And we talk about the local part of the show. The other thing that I think separates us a little bit from other shows is because it's local, it's a pretty friendly environment. It's not fast-paced and you're getting rushed around like at some of these bigger city shows. Take your time and browse. Everybody's happy to see you there. Everybody's happy to be there. Every boat dealer that ends up signing up to be in our show will always tell me, it's their favorite show of the year to do because of the relaxed nature. It's also a free show to the public, free parking and no gate fee. It makes it hard for us to count how many people came through the show each day, but at the same time, we know it's supposed to be fun. It is a outdoor, healthy, fun environment. So the boat show should be that way too.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a labor of love for us. This is one of those things where we started it because we felt there was a need for it in our area. And because we love to be on the water ourselves, that kind of translates to how we put the show on, right down to free parking, free admission.
Yes, free family fun.
Exactly right.
Now, how hands-on can I be there? Am I allowed to get on the boat? Am I taking it for a test drive? What exactly or does it change per vendor?
Well, it's a land-based show. We don't have anything in the water. So, yes, please jump aboard and figure out how things work. We'll be there to answer any questions you might have about any of the systems in the boats. But as far as taking them for a ride, the way most dealers will do that is if there's someone serious about the boat, whether it's a contingency, a sale, or just a demo to see if it's the right boat, we schedule that after the show, and we'll get that boat in the water for them to take a ride. Okay,
so you make an appointment.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And it's new boats only. There are no used boats at the show. So it's a great way to start off with full warranties and whatever promotions each different manufacturer might have for that particular show. The boat shows really are a good time to do two things. One is gain knowledge for the future, and the other is to get a boat and go boating. Summer's coming.
Yeah, and you're going to have dealers St. Lucie County, Indian River County, and as far up to Rockledge, I believe,
Correct.
right?
That's kind of the northern boundary.
And that's April 11th and 12th at Riverside Park. So, Brian, tell me, we discussed briefly the local bank Seacoast will be there. How can they help me as a new prospect?
Well, they'll have something special for the boat show as far as rates and terms. I don't know what they've got cooking up yet for the show, but they always have something special for the Vero show.
And they'll be on site.
They'll be on site. They've been our go-to on-site bank for probably decades at this stage of the game. Some of the dealerships also offer their own in-house financing. They'll have a finance and insurance department, and they'll be able to quote whatever their rates and terms are in their individual booth. But Seacoast kind of is, if you're not dealing with a specific person at a dealership, or perhaps they don't have a program that fits your situation, Seacoast will be there. And they do a great job.
They've been your partner for a long time.
A great partner, and they're interested in financing boats. They know what they're doing. They're good at what they do.
Now, if it's my first time going to the boat show, how would you suggest I begin? What should I not miss? I know one of the biggest things is talking to local experts and hearing exactly what they have to say about certain boats. What should I not miss?
Well, you asked me a couple of questions there. The first one is
throwing them all at
how
you.
do you start? The parking is literally around the display of the show or in the paved parking in front of Riverside Theater. So you're going to find a spot that fits your needs, whether it's pushing a stroller or you're on your own on foot. The opening to the show is closest to the fence on the east end. So that would be the starting point. And the show's laid out in kind of a horseshoe formation, so you can walk around the perimeter on the inside and see all the different brands and dealerships that are there. What I always suggest, if someone's maybe not boat experienced and doesn't really know where to start, form follows function. So what do you think or dream you're going to do with your boat? Is it a fish scenario? Is it a family water sports scenario? Is it an offshore, let's go to the Bahamas scenario? And that's where you start. And then you can go dealer by dealer, representative by representative, and see what they offer and which fits your needs. That's the best place to start, is what do you hope to do with the boat? And then we can kind of narrow it down from there. Then I'll have a lot of questions after that. Where are you going to keep the boat? Where are you going to store the boat? How big a family? If you're a shallow water fisherman, are you a fly fisherman? There's lots of questions that should be asked by the dealers to help let you look at the boat that fits your needs best.
Well, you heard it straight from the Marine Master, Mr. Brian Cunningham, the organizer of the Vero Beach Boat Show, which is on Saturday, April 11th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Sunday, April 12th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
You got it.
Get your questions ready. Get the family ready for a free day of fun, for fun admission, free admission, and free parking. Brian, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Kim. Appreciate you having me. Appreciate it as always.
Thank you.